What's up, everyone? Your boy Retrospect still up. Can't sleep. Really frustrated with myself right now. My necklace, man, my dog tags, and my ring, my family's ring, was on my neck. I carry it. I keep it on my neck. And I went biking today downtown, and I was biking really hard today, and I didn't even notice it missing off my neck. You can look at the videos, you can see it on my neck, and I got home and it was gone. I didn't feel it on my neck, and who knows where it dropped. I rode all the way to Detroit, and riding all the way down there with my head facing the ground looking for it, the chances of me finding it are really slim. And it's dangerous too, just staring at the ground, but it's fucking me up, man. Like I'm hurt. And there's stories behind that ring, there's a lot of stuff behind that ring, man. I wasn't gonna make a video, but I am letting you guys in my life, so I don't know, dude. I don't even know what to do with myself. I just got out the shower. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? It's 1:54, man. 2 in the morning. I knew it was close to that. I don't even know what to do. I really don't. I know I need to go to bed. I know that. But I don't know. I'm frustrated. There's so much going on, I want to see her, It sucks not being able to see her. And, my family, the way they've been acting with everything and stuff, is just hard, And they sell all your possessions, and then the stuff's not even selling, the furniture, And that's a lot of money. No one's messaged me. Like, I've had messages, but no one's, showed up. Like, I could show you guys the messages, but nobody's taking it serious, And so I really think I'm gonna have to, put some money together, figure out how to get a couple $100 off the internet, or helping somebody fixing something, or selling something. I still got car parts and stuff, but you can't just sell that stuff. You don't just walk up to somebody and say, hey, you want to buy a car part? The stuff's got to sell on the internet for the most part. So I don't have all that time. My time is limited. Really limited. So I've been saving all those Nirvana glass containers, all these little glass things, for a reason. That's another reason why I started buying them too, because these things are going to be really useful on the sailboat. And they're glass, and they have caps, and I don't have to pay for them because I'm already paying for them. And they're really heavy too, they got weight to them, they're sturdy. And then the caps on top, if you see, it's got a little, the seal is pretty good, So, I'm going to be buying, my own marijuana and putting my own marijuana in it. And other things too, I can wash them out, I can put stuff in them, beads and other things, She likes, Margaret likes to make necklaces and stuff, arts and crafts type stuff, all types of stuff, I can put screws and all those different things. And glass lasts better, it just lasts longer. And they're thick, that's why I got them. If you drop them, they don't break unless they hit concrete, but for the most part in the sailboat, if I drop one, it's not gonna break, I got like fucking 100 of them.
The unit from the welfare check should be clearing up shortly. Make contact with him and he's okay.
They do a lot of welfare checks. A lot of like the police, man, they're always getting called out to check on people. People are always, like worried about their grandma or something, and they haven't heard from them in 4 days, and they live all the way up north or something, they'll call down to the police. They won't call 911, but they'll call down to the police, and the police will go check on them. There's a couple of them, they're like normals, I swear. The fire department, you should hear some of the stuff I hear. It's crazy. The other day, he's actually from a different country, they found out. And he was over here. They were following him for a while. The FBI was. And the FBI contacted the local precinct and told him, hey, we're been tailing this person for a while now. We're about to detain him, because he's going to all these houses and taking the mail, stealing the mail out of the mailbox, and that's a federal case. So, they gotta contact, the local precinct so they can make it's gotta become a state case, and it's gotta get transferred. He's got a state case and a fed case. It's bad news. It's not good. And then not only does he have a fed case, and he has a state case, he also has a customs case. So, yeah, he might be sitting around for a while, man. All that being detained for a while, that just sucks. I've ran into a lot of people that were like going back to different countries, and a lot of times they sit for a long time, man. I've seen people sit for 6 months, almost a whole year, longer than that sometimes, and I've seen it. They'll sit, and all because they're not a citizen, so they can't let them out. They won't let them out to the street, and then they're finishing their case up. They're almost done with their state case. Then the parole, they finish their state case, and then the parole board contacts, the customs, and then they gotta wait for customs to arrange the paperwork and then pick them up. And then that's even if the customs can contact the actual country that they're in and try to get them back there properly. If not, a lot of times they just round them up and then they bring them. They'll sit until the country, the government is ready to do rounds. And what they'll do is they'll go around and they'll just pick up all the ones they can't find information or send back home, correctly. They'll just round them all up and then they'll bring them back. They'll fly them back and just dump them. Serious, that's how it works. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So I feel bad for those people, and a lot of them, they're running from, bad stuff, not stuff they did, but from, the area they're from and stuff, I was thinking about doing some computer stuff for you guys tonight. I gotta do some stuff, but I need to get to bed too. I really do. I usually read a Bible scripture, so we can do that. Why not? That's another thing. Bible, I mentioned earlier, they got so many different translations and stuff. I did a video about a guy named Squirrel who gave me a Bible, and it was a different Bible. It was weird. Like, when I started reading, I was like, what the fuck is this, Because it wasn't like any other Bible. And, it's called the Remix. And, it's written in contemporary English, like modern day slang. And it was written by a pastor named Eugene H. Patterson. And he written the book after, he was a pastor for, a long time, and God told him to write the book. And so it wasn't just him that wrote it too, the congregation, he worked with all these different congregations and all these people. So you're talking thousands, if not millions of people, and they all gathered together and they translated each passage in a modern day slang. Basically, they translate it in a way though, like what the passage meant, like what is it meaning, you know what I mean? Like how does it relate to us in modern day? And they kept it short, you know what I mean? And they had they put a lot of effort into it, you can tell. And I like reading out of it. That's the one that I showed you guys earlier, that had the stickers in it, one of my videos. Usually I read out of that one. That's the one I like reading out of. But I also go to estate sales. I said that in I think this morning. Yeah, I said that this morning. And I meant to touch up on this because, so this Bible I got from a house, and I got some other stuff, like a TV. I bought a TV, a Siki TV, and got a good deal on it. I bought some tables and stuff. But, I read a lot, I read a lot. I'm telling you, I read a lot. And when I read, I really go out of my way to figure out, like, is it true or not, is it believable, and why is it believable? But I've heard so many stories, and even the Bible, it says that, the Holy Land is protected, the Israel people, that land is protected. And if you do the research, right, Israel, it's crazy if you think about this, and if you really do the research, and you really look at this, Israel is the only country that still has its original name, still has its original flag. It hasn't changed. It's the only country that hasn't changed. It's never changed. It's always been Israel. It's never not been Israel. And it's the only military that has documents and actual things, proof of missiles being shot at Israel and them completely getting just deflected. You're talking warheads, missiles shooting at people, and then they just, they're coming this way, then they just veer off, like whoosh, whoosh. That's crazy. And, it's hard to believe, and I was reading this stuff in, magazines and, like, different books. Like, people went out of their way, to document this stuff, and it's pretty impressive, the stuff they have documented about all the crazy wild shit that people be seeing in the Holy Land. And what's funny is, I remember reading this in a book about these bombings, and I got this book from an estate sale over here in, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan area, and I was going through it, and it's funny, I found this person, so it's in Chronicles 18, I was flipping through it. They had a bunch of stuff in here. They have, like, their parents' names and stuff, and it's a really old book. It's hard to find older Bibles. I try to find the oldest Bibles I can find. It's hard to do. This one's from, like, the early 1900s. And I know that because it's signed by the people, that bought it, and they signed it, when they bought it, and they signed when they got married, and their kids, you know, and then even the kids wrote in it, you know, and said like their parents, you know, passed away, this and that. But what's crazy is I seen this. They had it torn. It was out of a newspaper, and it says Israelis have stopped more than 20 car bombs. And it's funny is I read this in a book somewhere. I don't remember where. Been trying to remember where. You know, they cut it out, but you can see that it says car bomb factory. They found a it says car bomb factory, Baalbek in Syrian-controlled northern Lebanon. You know, this says Detroit Free Press issue Monday, November 14th, 1983. So it was before I was born. It says Nakara, Lebanon. Israeli forces have intercepted more than 20 car bombs between this border checkpoint and the Awali River bridges near Sidon, more than 30 miles north of here. One car carrying hundreds of kilograms of explosive in its gas tank was discovered here on its way to Israel. These are some findings of Boston Globe survey of senior Israeli officials, officers, and soldiers, and a pro-Israeli Lebanese militia. The car bombs aimed at Israeli installations in southern Lebanon and Israel were made at the car bomb factory. And then it's been cut. And then on the other side it says, man shot dead in scuffs at church. It says 21-year-old Detroit man was shot to death early Sunday evening in the basement of an Eastside church after he attacked a woman and a fellow parishioner. Witnesses told police Daryl McClinton, 21, was dead on arrival at Detroit Receiving Hospital after being shot in the left chest. It says witnesses told police McClinton had been arguing with a 21-year-old woman after the afternoon services at the Zion Hope Missionary Baptist Church. And that McClinton began choking the woman. The church security guard intervened. He was 68, witnesses said. And McClinton then attacked Scott. Scott fired as the two men struggled on the floor. The witnesses told the police. It says, this is something that hurts us very deeply in our heart, said Bessie Martin, wife of the Reverend Prince Martin, the church pastor. You never know that what might happen when people are together in meetings and choir rehearsals all the time. The devil always gets busy. This is something that you never think could happen and probably wouldn't happen again here in a million years. We're just so sorry it had to happen this time. Miss Martin said the church had celebrated her husband's 33rd anniversary pastor during the service, and that McClinton and the women he attacked were among the parishioners who had stayed to help clean up after dinner in the church's fellowship hall. He was probably drunk. She was probably cheating on him. Just being honest with you. Probably what happened. He was probably drunk, all fucked up, creeped out, who knows, you know. But it's just crazy to me that, you know, they found all those bombs and, like, you know, and I read all that stuff, you know, it's just blows my mind. It's another reason why you gotta stay protected, man. You gotta stay protected, man. You gotta have a gun. You gotta have a gun. It's the Constitution says, when they came over here, man, the first thing they said in the Constitution, the first thing it says is, you can speak whatever you want, say whatever you want. And what is the Second Amendment? The right to bear arms. So what is that saying? You can say whatever the fuck you want, just make sure you got a gun. That's exactly what it's saying. That's why, like, when I'm in international waters and stuff, you know, people, you know, people are dangerous. They're not, you know, people out there, you know, not everybody out there is gonna be good people, you know. And I got my yoga. I do my yoga on the carpet a lot. because when you do it on the padding, you can't, because I'll be doing videos on that, but you can't like get on your spine like you're supposed to, or like on your shoulders, you know, and like where your shoulder. The thing about yoga, when you start laying on your back and you start lifting your legs up and do all those positions, the key to it really is where you have the most pain is where you put the most pressure. So you really have to focus. Pay attention where your up all the weight is, the bearing is, you know, where you're putting all the weight. Like if like every time I go walk and I ride my bike and I have that backpack on, it hurts between the shoulder blades the most. And that's the area that I'm still working on the most. Everywhere else I've gotten pretty much in place. The shoulders, you're always using your shoulders, so you always gotta work out your shoulders. And it's really hard to get the chakra, the Christos, the fluid that's in your spine to come, you know, down, up. That's very, very hard to do. So, and it hurts. It's painful to do it. It's not easy to do. It's not. And that's why I'm gonna be making videos on it. And I got kind of like a blister or something, like a scab. I just rubbed the skin off. It's like raw, and it burns. It's like right on like the tailbone. Cause you gotta. So, the first trick, I'm gonna be making full videos on it. But the first trick, so, like, I'm in my boxers, I don't give a fuck, people, I'm in my boxers and stuff. So, like, here on the back, on your tailbone, right here, I don't know if you see my hand, like, right on your butt, right on your tailbone. If you're having back problems, back pain, if not, even if you aren't, you know, you want to do yoga and stuff and start stretching, the Christos, the fluid that's down there. It's all your hormones and stuff is at the bottom of your spine. You can read all this stuff. You can search all this stuff, you know. Look up the Kundalini and what it is. And, you know, the serpent, you know, you'll understand what it is. But you gotta beat it. You gotta, so like, down here, right? What you gotta do is so you know, like I'm hitting it like that, boom, boom, boom. You hear that noise? Like you're basically having sex, kind of pounding it. You gotta lay on your back, right? And you gotta hit it. Or a lot of times you can like, so like the wall right here, if this piece was in here, you can, you know, just kind of in the doorway, you know, hit your tailbone on the wall. Do that like 50 times. Start doing that. That's the first thing you have to do. If anybody's interested. That's the first thing you gotta do. You have to do it. It's the only way. It's the only way. And you'll sleep better too. When you start doing it, your back pain, your lower back pain will start going away. It will. Promise you. It's fact. But it's way more than just that. It's way more than just that. It's not that easy. And I gotta boil water. My voice, I'm losing my voice. I need something to drink, and I have no water boiled. You know, water bottles, and I gotta do dishes, and there's so much going on. So, I don't need to get to sleep. And I still gotta boil water. And I got all these dishes in my sink. I didn't do dishes before, which is not like me. It's not like me. I'm really upset I'm missing my ring on my necklace. It's fucking me up. I don't even want to tell you, like, more, you know, like, the stories, but, like, the sentimental value behind it, it's gonna fuck me up, man. Margarita's gonna be upset when she finds out. She's gonna be upset with me. I'll just leave it at that. It's not cool, man. It's not cool at all. It's making me sick, actually. Like, sick to my stomach. So, don't drink tap water. It's not good for you. Don't do it. Stop it. If you're drinking tap water, stop. Immediately. Don't do it. First, it's really dirty. And Detroit tap water, Detroit city water, they say that Detroit has some of the cleanest city water. And if you ever look up the Flint water incident in Michigan, they were getting their water from Detroit. They have pipes going all the way from Detroit all the way to Flint, which is pretty long distance. Because the water in Flint, the rivers, the plants over here, like Henry Ford and stuff, they were, I'm going to be making a lot of documentaries on this stuff, global warming, and, this is what I do, this is the stuff I study. The earth and its effects and body and computer, I do a lot. But, so, they were dumping all the stuff from these factories in the river in the, back in the early 1900s, 1800s, late 1800s, And all that stuff, like mercury and everything else, is in that water. And, Flint, decided to, reroute the water that was coming from Detroit, and take water from the Flint River and process it and clean it. And, they weren't processing, cleaning it correctly. And, so everybody started getting sick. And, they ended up switching it back to, Detroit city water. I shower with it. I just don't drink it. And there's many reasons for it. One, it's got a shitload of chlorine in it, which is not good at all, for your brain and for your body. For your body in general, chlorine is not good. It's not good for you at all. Not at all. Like, if you read a chlorine bottle and you smell it, your body, when you smell it, your body instantly, it's not good for you. Like, that's poison. Second of all, if you are going to drink it, make sure it's cold water, not hot water. If you use hot water, that's going to be, pulling shit out the pipes, you know what I mean? It's going to be more foggy, it's going to have more, shit in it, soot, and, little, particles in it. So what I do is I boil my water, and if you boil the water, right, and if you do it a couple of times, you can take like a white rag, like a paper towel, and you wipe the inside of the pan, and it'll be gray. It'll be almost black sometimes. And that tells you, like, it's not good for you. And that stuff is not good for your pineal gland. And, your pineal gland is in the middle of your head. That's your pineal gland is your consciousness, it plays a big part. And when you're drinking chlorine and all those other things, you're fucking the equilibrium up with your body. It's not good for you. So, but I'm thirsty. And another thing on a boat, Kool-Aid. Listen, man, I'm telling you, gotta have it, bro. You gotta have Kool-Aid on a boat. It's Kool-Aid and, the crystal packs. I prefer the crystals, actually, because you can actually, believe it or not, you can get more on the boat and take up less space. And the crystal drinks, they're healthy for you, but, you always gotta bring Kool-Aid, man, I'm telling you. If you're on a boat, bring Kool-Aid. Shitload of it. Because you can, the thing is you can make candy with it, you can do things with it, you know, it isn't just, a lot of times, like, I'll have a thing, you know, sweet tooth, and I know, like, I'm full, but I can't, you know, I need to, you know, cure it. I'll take the spoon and just get it wet, you know, some saliva. I'll just, you know, put it in my mouth. And it's instantly better. Grab it, looks, I need some Kool-Aid. I need something to drink. Sucks because I want cold drinks and I gotta heat up water. I gotta boil it and it takes a minute. And then not only that, once I boil it, I gotta put some in a cup and I hurry up and throw it in the freezer. Which is gonna take about half an hour, 40 minutes to drink. And I should have put it on there. And I drank the rest of the milk. I made breakfast. Well, I made dinner and breakfast, so this is a Polish dish, actually. It's a poor person's dish. Poor people eat it. It's actually really cheap. Probably one of the cheapest things you can eat. But what's crazy is it's probably the most nourishing, healthiest things you can make for your body. And it's simple. It's just rice and milk and sugar. Serious. So you take the rice, and I'm not talking instant rice. Margarita, Mexico, they don't have instant rice. And she'd get mad at me if I use instant rice. Because it's not the same. And I've noticed the difference too, like health-wise and just better. It's multi-grain rice. Buy multi-grain rice, you know, real rice. That parboiled, you know, the instant rice is nice, you know, because it cooks only in 10 minutes. But half the nutrition of it was boiled out, and then they strain it, you know. When you boil that rice, you know, all that water and stuff, it got nutrients in it. Even when you strain it, you know, a lot of that stuff gets left behind, you know, when you cook it at home. And then the rice that they're using too, it's bleached flour rice, you know, it's bleached rice. It's not the same. It's not as healthy. But you just put rice in there, you boil it, and you boil the rice so the rice is pretty much almost tender. You don't wanna boil the rice until it's tender because you gotta still strain it, and then you gotta add the milk and then sugar. So if you boil the rice completely and then add the milk, the rice would be mushy. I don't like it like that, and most people don't. So you know, you taste it till it's got, you know, just a little bite to it, you know, it's still, you know, it's almost ready, you know, to be, you know, about 5 more minutes, basically. And then 5-10 more minutes, and you know, strain it, put the rice in, and then you fill it with milk. Vitamin D milk, not skim milk. You gotta use vitamin D milk. You can use whatever milk, goat's milk, you know, I've used other different milk. But I prefer the vitamin D milk, and I prefer the Fairlife milk. It's thicker milk. It's got twice the protein in it. The way they filter it and pasteurize it. But you gotta boil it really, really low once you put the milk in it. You cannot boil, turn the burner as low as it can go. And then boil it, you know, and then you'll see the fat in the milk it'll start on the top. It'll make like a little layer. A lot of people skim it off. I don't. I eat it because that's, you know, all the nutrition, you know, that's what builds up, you know, that's what builds up the body, you know what I'm saying? So, that's a poor person's dish. It's like a porridge, you know, it's But I grew up on it. My Polish grandma, my great grandma would make it for me every morning when I'd go over there. And that place was like, it was like heaven over there because there was no abuse going on, physical or mental. It was just pure, love, my Polish family always made sure I ate. And that was my favorite thing in the morning, man. Out of all the stuff she would make, that was my favorite thing. And then you take bread, just go get some bread, and you gotta have like a soft bread, like an Italian bread or like a French bread, where it's soft in the middle, it's really crusty on the edges. You toast some of that, put some butter on there and jelly, and that, perfect for dinner or a late night snack. And it's the best in the morning for breakfast, man. And I forgot that I had that. I was like wondering what the fuck I was gonna make for dinner and breakfast. I didn't want to stop at the store. I was beat. And I didn't want to spend any money. I don't like spending money. I like making money. There's a difference. I like spending it, but I only like spending it on margarita. I don't like spending it on myself. Like, I don't. Like, I like buying car stuff, and, I buy my weed. I buy my food, my weed, man. And everything I buy lately is stuff I need. Business-wise and stuff. I don't really buy stuff for myself anymore. Just clothes. That's it. I don't know. But I gotta wait for this water to boil, man. If it was food, I'd add some salt to it. And make it boil a little bit faster, but I'm gonna be drinking it. And I don't really want to drink salty water. Sometimes, like, it still has it, like, when you boil it, and you don't boil it long enough, it still has, like, a funky taste to it. It does. Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna show you guys some stuff, but I think I'm gonna go. It's late, man. I gotta finish boiling this water and get some sleep, man. It's already 3 in the morning. I was in the shower with my eyes closed, for 3 hours, so that's kind of why, like, I didn't fall asleep, I've been up, but, I was laying down, I was napping basically for 3 hours, so I'm alright. I don't know, I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.